Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly and I am here with your Hammers headlines for today, Wednesday, the 23rd of August, run in association, of course, with the guys of KUMB.com. There have been some unusual and unexpected updates with our players and signings in the last 24 hours. So I'm going to be updating you on three of the biggest stories. Let's jump straight into it. Up first, Kehrer has been named as a target for Bayern Munich as they look for a versatile defender to replace Benjamin Pavard. Their manager, Thomas Tuchel, signed Kehrer back in 2018 for PSG, so he is familiar with Kehrer's style of play. Now, Kehrer is obviously not our first choice, and he looks to be our second choice right back or a potential centre-back option. But do we really want to see him go? We paid around £10 million for him, so there is the chance that we could make profit. However, it's definitely getting very late in the transfer window to be selling any more players if we can help it. But should he go and we fail to replace him properly, if Soufal gets injured or dropped, this would leave us with Ben Johnson to pick up the pieces. And as we know, it's not always that simple to just get in a replacement, regardless of who you've let go. So should we let Kehrer go at this stage in the transfer window, or is it too close to deadline day? Let us know what you think below in the comments. Second, West Ham are working to strengthen our attacking options, and we're still keen to sign En-Nesyri, the striker that we tried to sign back in January 2021. For anybody that isn't familiar with his strengths, they include being an absolute monster in the air. In fact, when he scored a winner against Portugal, he was reported to have jumped to a height of 2.78 metres, which is 9.1 feet to score his goal. Now, it sounds as though we are preparing to make a move today, but the first step is to understand the price tag that Sevilla value him at, and then we need to work out how keen the player actually is on a move to West Ham. Another stumbling block is that West Ham are apparently most interested in getting him on a loan with the option to buy, and the idea behind that is that we want to minimise the risk of having yet another striker come in that then fails to settle and we sell for a loss. For anybody that didn't see my video last week, I actually spoke about the number of failed strikers that we've had at the club, the cost that this has had, but also the damage that it's done to our financial fair play, and why this has meant that we've got a constant leak of money, essentially, which is making it harder for us to reinvest. So we do need to be careful with that. However, it does also sound as though Sevilla might not be able to make this work financially their side. So it may turn out that buying him is the only way to progress with the deal. That said, he does look to be very promising. He's 26. And if our game plan is to make the most of long balls into the box, he could certainly be one to bring us the goals. And if we're able to agree a deal with Sevilla, En-Nesyri would be a fantastic replacement for Scamacca. So here is hoping that the thought of getting on the end of a fantastic James Ward-Prowse long ball tempts him over to the almighty London Stadium. Let us know, though, who would be your preferred striker target for West Ham at this current point in the comments. And finally, West Ham's second bid of £36 million for Mohamed Kudus has been turned down by Ajax, but we're not going to give up on the 23-year-old attacking midfielder just yet. Now, our goal is to get Kudus's agent and Ajax to agree a price that they want for him so we can work out whether or not it's going to be worthwhile for us. By the sounds of things, Ajax have decided that they now want more money for the player, and they know that we want him, and they aren't in a position either where they have to sell. So they're definitely in a very strong position. But on top of this, their agent, Kudus's agent, is now throwing his weight around as well. So on the live last night, Anton was telling us about the massive difference in players that they rep as an agency, and Kudus is essentially their prize player. So they are trying to get one massive payday, and they know that this is their chance to do that. This is also the last window where agents can earn this much money from the transfer of players, because it is set to be regulated more heavily from next transfer window. So essentially, they are milking the deal for everything that it's worth. Unfortunately, we've already had a bid rejected, which was for more than the club's agreed sum with Brighton. So it appears that we might have to walk away if they won't agree a deal quite quickly. The problem is, if they're playing games, it's easy for us to waste the rest of our transfer window going back and forth with no success, and with a club that doesn't really have that many intentions to sell a player. And one more thing, On top of this, Fabrizio has reported that Ajax and the players' reps believe that very big clubs, whoever they may be, will return to try and sign Kudus. So it definitely seems that they aren't in a massive rush to secure a deal and will probably long this out right to the end of the transfer window. And if they've already rejected more money from us than they had already accepted from Brighton, the big question is, how much more do they even want and what would they be willing to accept? That is what we need to know and find out. And then whether that's a good valuation of this player or whether we should focus our efforts elsewhere. But as we know, he's a very talented player, so we'd like to get him in. So the race is on. Will they lay their cards on the table or should we just look elsewhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. So there we have it. Those are your Hammers headlines for today. We have got 9 days left of the transfer window to conclude any business, and there would definitely still be areas that we need to strengthen between now and then. And this is going to be changing, hopefully, as we get more players in. Hopefully we can do that soon. Can we get another deal over the line before the weekend? Only time will tell. But that's all from me today. So have an amazing Wednesday. Have a great one, whatever you're up to. And until next time, come on, you Irons.